Hello and welcome to Accelerate. I am Matt Stone. This is the podcast where we encourage and inspire CEOs, founders, and visionaries on their big leap journeys. We talk about the stories and strategies that will help you accelerate toward your big leap destination with purpose, humility, an open mind, commitment to growth, and recognition that the way we get there is at least as important as where we end up. And I'm so delighted that you've tuned in today. And it is Friday, October the 14th. I hope you've had a great week. And if you haven't, I hope that you're willing to look at today as a new opportunity to have a great day. I know that's how I'm living these days. And so, I wanted to mention something about the topic. So at one point on this podcast, speaking of the one day at a time theme, I thought, maybe I should develop this technique where, we name each day. It's Mindfulness Monday, or, Talk It Out Tuesday, Wisdom Wednesday, Thoughtfulness Thursday, whatever. And you certainly could do that. But I haven't done that yet. And maybe that'll happen somewhere down the line. But the reason I haven't is because really what we do on this podcast, what I do on this podcast is kind of take you on a journey with whatever's on my mind. And I don't know what that's going to be. I mean, sometimes I have an idea the day before or an article I ran across or something, and I'm like, I'm going to share that tomorrow. Some days it's wake up and go, okay, what's going on today? What's real? What am I feeling? What am I thinking? What's important? What are the insights? What are the queries? What are the questions? What am I seeking? What are the challenges? And kind of just see what bubbles up. Sometimes it's over my oats, or coffee, or I'm reading an article or something in the morning and I go, okay, oh yeah, that's it. Sometimes it's a meditation, informal meditation, formal meditation. Sometimes it's just walking around and kind of saying, okay, what am I feeling today? What's true? What am I seeking? So I like being able to kind of journal this way in a podcast form and invite you along and see if you're thinking and feeling the same things. And sometimes when I hear other people, I go, oh, wow, that's really what's going on. I didn't realize it, but I heard it through them. So that's really the inspiration for this. And I hope that helps. And for now, I'm going to keep that cycle. I didn't really think that I could keep going every single day during the week with a new topic. I thought I'm going to run out of topics. But, we run out of topics when we're dead. I mean, the funny thing is what I've learned is, I've learned a lot of things doing this. Daily practice teaches so many things. Daily practice is amazing. And the daily practice of doing this podcast has taught me that there is an endless supply of learning. If I'm connected with myself and with others, if I've got a purpose that I'm working toward, if I'm making progress and stumbling and learning and growing, it's endless. It's absolutely endless. Same basic set of themes around love and purpose and connection and self-acceptance and mindset and spirituality and all of those things. It's the same basic set of themes, but how they get borne out on the day-to-day, the behavioral choices that I have, the awareness I need to know that I even have a choice, all of that's a practice. And so really this podcast is about daily practice. Daily practice. Yesterday's feelings, thoughts, and behaviors do not have to be the same today. They can be. The more disconnected I am, the more they tend to kind of keep flowing. But that causes degradation. If I'm allowing myself to stay in the same place of essentially extended rumination, or thinking the same thoughts over and over again, then I am by definition deteriorating. It's a loop that's not growth oriented. It's just literally going around in circles mentally. And every time we go around the bend with those ideas, oh, I'm failing. Oh, I'm not enough. Oh, I wish I could have done this differently, or I wish, if that's all we're doing, then we're not really growing. And one of the ways to see your growth is to have daily practices, daily things. They kind of root you. They root you in disciplines that then allow you to see the variables. So everything from the daily routine of breakfast, keeping that pretty much the same, allows me to see other variables around it. I'm rooted in that routine that's good for me, and allows me it allows me the room not to have to think about what to eat. Some people, of course, we all know about Mark Zuckerberg's hoodies. He wears the same hoodie every day. I don't know if he still does that. Or you look at Steve Jobs, or I recently met Marshall Goldsmith. He wears the same khakis and green polo, different brands I've noticed. A polo shirt, sometimes it's a different brand, but it's always green. His closet is full of khaki pants and green shirt. Now, that's not my style choice. I actually enjoy variety, and I like a bit of style. But there's something to not forcing your brain to have to make so many choices on a daily basis so that you have the space and energy for your brain to be focused on other things. And a daily practice, in this case, this podcast, I hope that when you listen to this podcast, it helps spur in you just a little bit of more thought about yourself, about the others around you, about how you're doing, a little bit of encouragement to keep going, keep trying, not give up on yourself, not give up on others, keep an open mind and an open heart, and live your best life. That's the bottom line. It's all we can hope for, because most of the things out there we can't control. So a daily practice, maybe your daily practice is this podcast. And that's what you do. I listen to it now. That puts pressure on me to make one every day, I realize. But so far, so good. We're over 80 episodes of the podcast overall. I think the current form, Accelerate, we've got probably 65 or so episodes. Been doing this for several months now. I'm kind of amazed. I really thought I was going to run out of topics. But, it doesn't happen. If I'm present, it doesn't happen. So it's a great way to stay present. So I'm using this as a daily practice in part to stay really, really present. And it helps me to know that you're there listening. It gives it meaning and purpose that's beyond me, which makes it even more meaningful to you. So I guess what I'm saying is you really matter. And I'm really grateful that you listen. And sometimes I get reminders of how meaningful it is. And I'll leave with this. Yesterday, I had a nice conversation with my cousin who lives on the other coast. I'm over here looking at the Atlantic Ocean. He's over there looking at the Pacific. And just heard how meaningful this podcast is to him. And that means a lot to me. So, Luke, thanks for listening. This one's for you. And the topic today is staying present and growing through a daily practice that can come in any form you want that works for you. Find your daily practice. Maybe try out a few things this weekend. Just try a practice a couple of days. On a Saturday and a Sunday, just do something. Journaling, taking a walk around the block, reading for 10 minutes. It doesn't matter what it is. It just needs to be healthy and help center you. And when you put down that pillar, it'll help you stay focused, learn, and grow, and more present over time. And also count this podcast if you listen to this podcast on a routine basis. Thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for checking in. Get some rest, respite, some good connection this weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Friday if it's still Friday for you. And join me on Twitter @MattStoneCO, on Instagram @MattStoneCO. I do post some occasional what I call walk and talks on there, and quotes and other things. Yesterday I was walking along the Hudson on my way to a cafe actually, and had a thought and recorded it and put it up. So I do that from time to time there. And of course, if you're going to share this podcast, mattstone.co is the way to do it. Thanks again for listening. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you on Monday. Bye-bye for now.